how was day one of social life? Who's your favorite speaker? Ass kissing always works. Let me ask you a question. Now, yesterday in the morning, I shared the 7 lessons that I've learned building my $10 million empire. It's actually more than 10 million. So today, actually, who could summarize the 7 lessons for me? Who could do that? Who could do that? Yes. Loud and clear, so you can do that.
Be the 1%.
No. The 7 lessons. Who could summarize the 7 lessons? Each one of them. Each one of them.
There was the love what you do.
No. What's the first one?
Your adversity is your advantage.
Second one?
Money follows attention.
No. Who could do like in order? Yes.
Love what you do.
Yeah.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
The third one was visibility is more important than ability. Is that the fourth one?
That's the fourth one. Yeah. Number 3 is good. Save yourself before save the world. Good.
Stop pretending and start asking.
Yeah.
So visibility is more important than ability.
Good.
Stop pretending and start asking.
Yes.
Master don't dabble.
Yes.
And don't have to get it right.
Okay. Afterwards, a round of applause. You get a book. From me. Okay. So talk to me afterward. I'll know you one. So today, what I want to do is maybe a little bit interactive, because after these type of conferences, how many have been to other conferences before? That is not the first conference you go to. And what happens is entrepreneurs, business owners, they attend different conferences, and then they get all excited, all motivated, all psyched up and hyped up, and then they go home and then what?
Do nothing.
Yes, do nothing. You know, all the self-help becomes shelf-help. So my goal for you is to make sure you actually take some action. Get some ideas and some strategies that you can do. So let's see how much time we have. I'll go through a couple of things, and then maybe if we have time, we'll do Q&A. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. People who are not here, they're missing out.
That's right.
They're missing out because the second day is all about implementation. It's about what? Implementation. So what I would do, so yesterday I shared with you 7 lessons, right?
Yeah.
Today I'm going to give you 3 more. 3 more. 3 more. So lesson number 1, before I get into the lesson, is this. That yesterday I talked about attention, yes?
Yes.
So attention is a new currency. That money follows attention. So, and afterwards, a lot of people come up to me and they ask me different questions about their business. The first lesson I want to share with you is this. In any business you want to get, how many of you actually don't have a business now, but you kind of have an idea? Like you think, wow, okay, good. So how do you know? Like people ask again, is my idea good? Is it viable? Should I do this and this and that? I always say with me, any industry, any business I want to get into, my first question is, first of all, is there a demand? Not just because it's my fucking idea. Is there a demand? Are people actually spending money buying this thing? People come up to me and pitch me all the time with ideas, investments. Oh, you know, Dan, nobody's ever done this before. Let me share my idea with you. And I run. Nobody's ever done this before. I don't want it. Oh, Dan, my tech. This is going to be, I'm going to be the new next Facebook. I run. No, I don't want that. I look into an industry where there's already existing demand. I don't want to create demand. Now, this is just my personal preference. I mean, there are people who made a lot of money being a pioneer. The pioneers, you know, usually they have arrows on their back. Most of the money that I've lost in my business career because I was a pioneer, trying to do something new. Nobody's ever done this before. Let me prove to you what I could do, right? Sure, I proved how stupid I was. So I don't like to do that. So any industry I look into, I ask, is there demand? Second question is, can I be the number 1 or number 2 in that category? Can I be the number 1 or number 2? If there's already number 1 and number 2, well, can I aim to be that? And do they have any weaknesses or certain things they're not doing so well? Or can I create a category within that I could be number 1 and 2? So let me give an example. How many of you have heard of a little drink called Coca-Cola? Okay. How many have heard of Pepsi? Have you seen those Pepsi, what is it, those blind, the tasting tests? Yes, how they do it, and they blindfold you and you drink, and 7 out of 10 say Pepsi tastes what? Yeah. But how come Coca-Cola always kicks their ass?
Culture.
Pepsi can never, ever, ever beat Coca-Cola. Because Coca-Cola is first. In any marketplace, better to be first or different, but better to be first. You have that first to market advantage. So, lesson number 1 is you want to dominate, not compete. Dominate, don't compete. How many have heard of the idea that competition is a good idea? Okay, it's a fucking lie. For who? For who? You think Apple competes, or you think they dominate? They dominate. In any category, any industry leader, they go in, they're not competing. They are crushing the competition. They don't want to win by this much, they want to win by this much. By this much. So any industry I get into, you want to dominate, don't compete. If I look at an industry, look at a business, okay, if I cannot be number 1, can I at least be number 2? If I'm number 3 and 4, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. One of the greatest business books I believe that it's ever written, and most people don't think about it, is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. How many have read it? Yeah. The Art of War. A few years ago, I actually wrote a book called The Art of War for New Millennium. With The Art of War, one of my favorite quotes is, a battle is won before it's ever fought. Most businesses, the truth is, if you actually have done your research, most of them you will know if you're going to succeed or fail before you put in a dime. Most entrepreneurs, it's always an idea. So idea was shit. Idea is not worth anything. It's execution, it's research. Everybody can come with an idea. But one elegant idea is better than 1,000 semi-good ideas. One elegant idea. So idea is not worth a lot. It's execution, it's implementation. I'm not the most creative guy. I have never had original ideas in my life. Don't like them, don't want them. Because when I go to the bank, when I deposit money, the teller's not going to ask me, Dan, you should make this money with the original idea. No, she never asked me that. So I am not an original thinker. I'm not interested in that. I'm a synthesizer. What I like to do is I like to take some best practices from different industries and I connect them together. So let's say traditionally I'm in this industry and everybody does same things a certain way, right? Most of the time. And I like to borrow some best practices from other industries. Oh, nobody's ever done it this way. Well, let me do this. And then people think, oh, that's a breakthrough. That's so brilliant. What's so brilliant about it? It's not brilliant. It's been doing it for 20 years, but just from a different industry. So one of the things I would suggest, read publications, magazines, blogs outside of your industry. That's how you get out of the box idea. In my podcast, one time I was interviewing the founder of Priceline.com. Have you heard of Priceline.com? Yeah. So Jeff Hoffman. When I was talking with Jeff, and through the podcast, and Jeff was telling me that how he came up with the Priceline.com idea was, one time he was reading a magazine, some kind of article about fruit, and how there's a company, basically they sell fruit, but they do it in a way that, let's say you have a banana, and it's fresh, and you sell for X amount of dollars, but as time, it goes bad, right? So every day it goes by, this company, they would lower the amount of the amount of money they sell, the price for these types of fruit. So Jeff read the article, and that's how he got the idea. Well, how come we can't do the same with hotel? What if hotel, there are a lot of vacancy, and it's just sitting there, it costs us money for the cleaner to be there, it costs us money for the air conditioning. What if we can work a deal with hotel, and all these space that they don't sell, then maybe we could sell on our website. That's how he came up with Priceline.com. Listen to the interview, it's not that original. But that's how you get breakthrough ideas. So that's lesson number 1. Dominate, don't compete. Second is verify, don't assume. Verify, don't assume. The number one key to business success is to avoid bad assumptions. It's the number one key to business success. Avoid bad assumptions. Most businesses fail because the entrepreneur assumes it's a good idea. They assume everybody would want this. They assume their marketing would work. Because entrepreneurs, we're naturally optimistic, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, we look at the good side of things, yes? That how it's going to work. I'm saying, and I was very, very optimistic, and that's how I lost most of my money. Okay? So now I'm more a realist. I'm more like a professor of harsh reality through that experience. So now I am optimistic, but at the same time, I verify. I go through, I ask myself the question, what could go wrong? That's a very good question to ask yourself. What could go wrong? Not what happens if everything goes right. Now, what could go wrong? Another very good question I have on my desk. What could go wrong, and what don't I see? What don't I see? What don't I see? Oh yeah, when I launched this, my business, I don't have any business experience. I've got this great idea. I'm sure when I launch it in 30 days, I'm going to make $100,000. That's an assumption. How do you know? What if it doesn't? What if not only it doesn't make $100,000, you didn't make any money the first month? What if you didn't make any money the second month? What if actually you don't make any money the first year? What if you don't make any money the second year? It's way better. Think about it. Think about it. Who has a higher probability of success? Two people. This person saying, you know what? I've got this idea. I'm going to go to the marketplace, and it's going to be so easy. I'm going to launch, and I'm going to be profitable day one. Okay, and people will love it, and they will tell their friends about it. Once they see it, oh my God, man, they will be the path to my door, and I'll be rich in 1 year. Better start looking at that house and a new car. This entrepreneur, you know what? I've got this idea. I think it's a decent product, but I'm not so sure. I have some assumptions in my mind. Let me verify. Who are the competitors in the marketplace? How long they've been in there? What's the profit margin? Are their products good? How big is the customer base? What about their growth? What about new threats? Can I make it cheaper? Can I actually make it cheaper? Let me talk to some vendors, maybe from China, from India, see how much they can manufacture that for. What exactly is my marketing cost? What's my plan? What's my strategy? What if that plan doesn't work? What if I run out of money? Well, I better keep some savings that, how long can I last? Do I have enough cash that can last 1 year or 2 years? Who's going to more likely to succeed? This one is avoiding bad assumption. This one is in Disneyland. And nothing wrong with Disneyland. Okay, right? Fantasyland. This is entrepreneur. So we're optimistic, but we want to verify. You want to challenge your idea. That's why sometimes people ask me questions and I say, oh Dan, you're so harsh, you're so blunt. It's not blunt. It's just nobody's asking me these tough questions. All your friends say, yes, awesome, go for it. And then you say, oh great, let me sink my life savings into it. And then when the product's ready, you go to them and say, would you like to buy some? No. But I thought you loved my idea. I love your idea. I support you. I love you, but I'm not going to buy it. Shit! Why didn't you tell me earlier? So now, when I talk to people and say, oh, I love your idea. Okay, pull your credit card. Let's take your order. Would you buy some? Oh, no, I don't want to buy some. Then why did you say you love my idea? You don't like my idea. So that's what I mean. Assume, verify your intel. Thinking going back to the art of war is intel, intelligence. Business is an intellectual sport. Business is a what?
Intellectual sport.
It's not about who has the most amount of money. It's who has the most money intelligence, who has intel, plus who has access to information. That person, that entrepreneur is going to win. Make sense? Yes. Okay. Last lesson. Then ties in a little bit what Mike was talking about. And actually, Mike, what you were sharing is very valuable. I know the first you're looking at the numbers and all that. I can see some of you are texting on your thing and not paying attention. I was observing because it wasn't that interesting, but it's actually damn important. Sometimes an entrepreneur, the stuff they assume that you're not interested, that's the fucking thing you need. Because as an entrepreneur, if you cannot read financials, you're fucked. Because, I mean, you would think, let me explain. I've seen my friends, revenue, every single year. It's like going up like that. Suddenly, next year they're out of business, bankrupt. I said, what the hell happened? They don't read financials. They look at the revenue. Oh yeah, this year I'm making $500,000, next year I'm making $1 million, there's 1.5 million, they may hire more people. What they don't notice is revenue is going up, profit is going what? Down. Yeah? The only purpose of a business is to provide you with a future stream of earning. So our goal as an entrepreneur is to turn assets into revenue. Turn assets into what?
Revenue.
And then from revenue into profit. From revenue to what? Profit. And from profit into cash. Cash. It's cash flow management. No company goes out of business because too much, it's not revenue. Every single company goes out of business because they run out of cash. It's cash. They can't meet the payroll. They can't pay for the lease. That's what's the problem. So they look at, oh yeah, revenue is good. Even profit. Profit is just a theory. Because you can't go to the bank and say deposit some profit. They will look at profit, it's good, but exactly at the end of the day, how much are you putting into your pocket? How much cash you have in your bank account? That's why most entrepreneurs, oh yeah, I'll make the money next month, this and that. Look at the cash, look at the bank account, they run out of cash. I'm paranoid about my companies. Paranoid. I want to have a lot of cash in each of my companies. So, last lesson, and that is be somebody, be somewhere, and do something. Be somebody, be somewhere, and do something. Be somebody meaning that, yeah, you want to be perceived as the expert in your field. You want to be perceived as authority in your field. You want to be perceived as the #1 person in your field. Be somebody. How could you do that? What do experts do? They have what? What do they do? What do they do? What do they do? Come on, Rob, you know.
Teach, educate.
They teach, they educate, they have a book, they speak, they publish, they give interviews, yes?
Yeah.
So put on a different hat. So if experts, they write books, they speak, they publish, they teach. So if I do these things, it makes me an
Expert.
an expert. It's not like they are an expert, then they do these things. No, you do these things, then you are an expert. Chicken and egg. So be somebody, be somewhere, meaning attending conferences, meeting with people, connecting with people. Don't just walk up to someone and say, hey, you know what, I've got this product, hey, you know what, Joshua, can I sell you some stuff? Not like that. I'm talking relationship. Being somewhere and doing something. Doesn't matter what it is. Just a little bit of something every day. Is like most entrepreneurs, and this is my last thought, I believe, is that they get discouraged and they give up because, again, they assume they have this unrealistic expectation. Let me tell you a story, an analogy. Then I'll be out of here. Think of, again, two people who want to lose weight. This person is saying, you know what? I want to look thin, and I want to, before summer, I want to get a six-pack ab, and I'm kind of single, you know. That motivation, yes, to get a strong why. So, you know what? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the gym, you know, once a week, and I'm going to do about, 20 minutes of, cardio and maybe a couple punches. Then I'll have a six-pack ab. That's how most entrepreneurs think. Instead, so that's an unrealistic expectation. That's a what?
Unrealistic expectation.
What are the chances of this guy getting a six-pack ab? On the other hand, is this guy. You know what? I want to get a six-pack ab as well. And my instructor, my trainer says, I got to go in, 3 times a week. I got to kind of watch my diet. I got to do at least an hour of cardio, and then maybe, a couple, 100 punches every day. Okay? But you know what? Just in case, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 times a week, 2 hours a day, not 100 crunches. I'm gonna do 200 crunches. Plus, I'm gonna do some cardio. On top of that, let me run another 2 miles. Whatever activities you're thinking that it takes to cut through the noise, whatever activities you think it takes to make that sell, to grow your company, whatever the amount you're thinking, just 10x it. 10x it. Then you won't get discouraged because now your expectation has been adjusted. Then you don't get discouraged. Maybe it doesn't take 10 times the activities and effort. But I guarantee you, if you actually 10 times your thinking and 10 times your activities, your expectation, chances of succeeding is way high. Does that make sense? Yes? Yes? That's all I have. Thank you very much.
10 times your finances, 10 times your business, 10 times your marketing, 10 times your life. Hit the subscribe button now.